You're dressed like Wilson.
Yeah, that's
I've got yeah.
I'm only missing the glasses and the cool vibe that comes with you.
I know you got a pretty cool vibe. You look in
I was
Dubai.
saying, I said like, shall I put a colorful shirt? Or no, I'm gonna stay like Wilson. How you been, Ian?
Yeah, I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much. Congratulations on the film. And I just wanted to start my question with how amazing was filming in the Canary Island, the volcanic island, with all the space, all the scenery around you? Because usually these kind of movies are always filmed in tight places with a lot of
I know
people,
that's
action.
that's what I thought was great about the movie. That it's set in such an extraordinary setting, for whatever reason. And of course, the setting is a huge part of the plot. I mean, Gonzalo lives actually on Gran Canaria, but nobody lives on this island, it's beautiful, fierce wind, and believe me, it is a fierce wind. And I understand why Wilson gets hooked on the location.
Mhm.
Um, yeah,
I
it's
love
a
all
great.
Wilson's moment. I love all Wilson's moment on the cliff, on the water, on the beach, when he
Yeah,
meets the other characters on the black sand beach. The black sand beach, beautiful.
part of the whole thing. I'm glad you got that. And at the end, the whole everything's a metaphor for something else. I mean, the ship that's as old as Wilson, that is what suddenly he finds out this liner, this luxury liner that was broken up and as old as he is, whatever. Everything seems to
Yes.
point towards him being there. And and he makes the fatal flaw that the character should never make, but when
Mhm.
in films like this, unless it's a classic European noir movie in a sense. It has to follow certain rules, but the
Mhm.
location adds, I think, as you said, to the whole genre, the whole romantic sort of setting of the movie in a sense, and the whole romance that Wilson thinks, oh, maybe there is something more than me just traveling around. He's drawn to the island, forced to interact with other people, which I don't think he's been forced to do for some time.
Mhm.
Finds a certain humanity a little too late.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
and at the end, is forced into a situation and becoming, judge, jury, executioner of his own fate, nothing happily. And at the end, was it a myth? Was it was it a dream? As the ship is beneath the waves come over it. I mean, yeah, I like the movie. I like the
Me,
movie we made,
me,
and
I
it's an
thought the ship.
independent, huh?
Sorry, I thought the ship was your friend, the
What's
friend
his
who
friend?
drowned, the friend who drowned. You remember you had a friend who
Yeah.
drowned in the ocean where you tried to go and get
No,
him.
I'm saying that the ship represents a lot of other things to him.
Yeah.
The fact is, he goes in the water at the end. He starts to walk in the water with his friend. Is he
Mhm.
drowning? And then we go to nothing. We go to the ship under the waves, and then we go to the waves going over the ship, which happened about 8 years ago. But it's all a metaphor for the life that he wanted to lead and the decisions he makes at the end, um, and the decisions he makes at the beginning, which
Mhm.
is to stay on this island, which he should never do.
Mhm.
But otherwise, he'd never meet the wonderful Fanny Ardant. I mean, the mother.
Yeah.
I watched the film again. We've had a couple of showings in the last week here in LA for audiences, and it's gone down very well. And the thing is, you can usually they're very attentive. It's one of those movies that I still sit through now and think everything that we tried to do in the 5 weeks of filming is up there on the screen.
Mhm.
It's like saying this is the movie that we wanted to make as a producer, as an actor, as a as a director, Gonzalo, because he showed me the rough cut about 2 months after we'd made it, and he's his own editor and the music, and it was
Wow.
all but it all seemed to be part of a part. We said, yeah, that's the movie I envisioned, and there it is up on the screen. So there was very little post production in terms of editing or whatever. I'm
Wow.
obviously hinting and screaming on the regular stuff, but very few and no arguments at all about editing or whatever because it's your movie. It's up to you. There it is up there.
No, it's amazing. I love your character relationship with the three different generations, the
Yeah.
mother. and also the like the other two young people and the kid. Amazing interaction. You see Wilson different with each one of them. You see Wilson complex, but yet again have some wit in it, and in the same time, his kindness shining through.
You know, that's it, because he's forced into a situation. I mean, the kid I love working with a lot. Well, I loved all of them actually. One of the fascinating things is, Mico, is that originally the girl Gloria was being played by an older Spanish actress who had commitments when we finally made the movie, had committed to a stage play and could not get out of it. So Nora was about 15 years younger. So that whole relationship took on a different slant when we
Hmm.
rehearsed, which is actually, I think, adds more to the
Hmm.
character of Wilson. It's like not like there could have been maybe a love interest before. There
Hmm.
could have been originally, but this is more like, is it the niece he never met? It's like there's much more of a familial, kind of paternal, yet not that. It's more like a, you don't know, but there's a loneliness of the characters that intrigue each other. You know, they meet. The kid is just one of those kids that lives opposite on the, but he's forced to interact with him and relive his, you know, and then Ryan, the son of his best friend who died in the Falkland
The
Islands,
war and the
and he,
Falkland.
yeah, and he has, Wilson feels, has he now be responsible for creating this sort of monster, if you like, which he
Hmm.
didn't think about before? So he's forced to reflect over these 3 days where he's chosen to stay too long on the island because the objective he went there for was not there when he got there.
Hmm.
Um, a lot
And he
happens
decided
to him,
to stay.
and it's up to the decisions he makes at the end. Yeah,
No, no,
emotion,
it's
huh?
super wonderful. It's wonderful seeing the whole thing. It's not many characters, not many things. It's just there. It's very focused. It's very nice,
And
and it knows.
it's very simply told, but not sim. It seems simple, but it's not. It's because Gonzalo thought about how he would shoot it before, and we all did. So it was a very how shall I say, a very civilized shoot,
Mhm.
in the sense that, everybody was on the same page, but at the same time there was time for lunch, and it was time for,
It's
nice
amazing.
lunch and again, with small crew, civilized. You didn't have 17,000 people clamoring, and then sort of get back on your heads. It was all everybody. You could travel light around the island. The island was part of the actual film, as you said so
Yeah,
eloquently at the start. It's that whole atmosphere that the Fuerteventura brings to the movie, and
and
it's
I like the
very
white shots. Sorry. I like the
no.
white shots where it shows you're lonely. Like the
Oh,
line, there's your line when it says, I don't have any kids, not that I know of. And this kind of hit me. He's looking for, he want to find like kids. He want to be a parent. He want to tap into that life that he missed. And you did it beautifully. So what are you hoping that the audience will get from this film?
um, a life discovered too late, maybe, like a lot of people. Small
Ah,
victory, a
goosebumps.
life
I'm getting
discovered too
goosebumps.
late, that what he could have had and what he might have had, or what he did have, or how he screwed up, or how he thinks his life has gone. Um, yeah, I mean, I think a lot happens in that when he thinks, I'll stay, at the beginning, he's confident, I'll stay there, I'll do this job. And then he gets more complicated. He's forced into also he's staying in it. I mean, I think the fact that that hotel is important
Mhm.
because it's a tourist package hotel. Which, and Gonzalo as a director never hits you on the head with it. You have to find out things for yourself, which I kind of like, rather than give them a hint and you take it from there rather than keep telling you all the time. But it's reminisced by, by the fact that you have three people, different generations. You have, two young people, you have a child, two young people, you have an older woman, and you have Wilson himself reflecting on the life he could have had, or what the hell did he do with it suddenly? Because I
Mhm.
don't think he's a man for much reminiscence until this stage, and this happens in his life. But it's a movie. It's a
It
movie,
is.
and good movies stay with you. It's like a do they when the darkness comes up and the darkness comes in the cinema, it goes down, then the film starts, and for the next hour and a half, you're taken away to somewhere else you don't know about. And I think
Mhm.
the film succeeds on that. Takes you somewhere to exotic setting. The storyline is something, and at the end, it's like, well, oh yeah, things happen all the time. I mean, last week was, you know, a seismic in terms of if you like politics, but people's lives go on all the time.
Hmm.
Their own thoughts and their own dreams and their own be they 6, 16, 36 or 60. Wilson has discovered something towards the end of his life that, you know, he's led. Was he right about, the kid says king and country, all that bullshit,
Hmm.
about honor, and Wilson questions that.
Hmm.
But as at the end, is it all worth it? I don't know. I
I
don't
love
know.
this question. I love when a movie makes you question yourself,
Yeah, absolutely.
and
And
that
you think
that
about,
was
yeah.
it.
And you think
Yeah.
about it afterwards. You think about all those things.
Hmm. Well, Ian, that's my time. Thank you so much for your time. I'm very proud of the film and of the work that you guys put in there, because like it takes a different setting in Europe, and it's nice to kind of relax the eyes. So congratulations again.
Thank you very much, Mico. Much appreciated. Have a good day. Yeah.
You too, my friend. Bye bye, Ian. Take
Bye
care.
bye.